Good morning you guys, it's Karen, and I thought I would run through my tips or rules that I follow for my hair on how to keep it healthy, because I get so many lovely comments from you guys and have done over the years on my hair, and it's something that's been kind of the #1 importance to me since I was a teenager, over and above makeup, skincare, etc. I was first obsessed with hair because I always had, this is my natural hair colour, and I always had such an unusual colour that I would get a lot of compliments on it, and it's always been thick and shiny. I find it harder nowadays to get it to be shiny, but these are the kind of rules that I follow. I have done a video like this before, but this is an updated one. This may not be the best day to do it because my hair doesn't look shiny at all today. It looks a bit like a bird's nest, but that is because it is hair washing day. I do, if ever you see my hair curled, it's normally because it's hair washing day, because the curls don't hold in my hair. This was really curly when I did it, but they hold better when my hair is due a wash, so it's a few days since I've washed it. Okay, so I've got 12 things listed here that I do. The first thing that I'm going to tell you, if you're a follower of my channel, you already know that I do, but that I use a deep cleansing shampoo. I do feel like I can have dry hair if I don't really look after it. And you would think that that would move me towards a moisturising shampoo, but I don't like to use moisturising shampoo because I feel like if you're going to wash your hair, you want to take out all of the build-up, you want to take out all of the product. Now, I didn't used to use as much product as I do now, but I do use, you know, like mousses to give myself a bit of bounce and that kind of thing, and hairsprays, and especially today when I'm curling it, I've used product. And so when I wash my hair, I want to make sure all of that's out, because to me it's pointless putting conditioner on top of, firstly on top of any residue that's still in my hair that hasn't come out because I haven't used a good enough or a strong enough shampoo, but also a moisturising shampoo to me leaves some residue on the hair. My hair doesn't feel squeaky clean. It feels like, not that I could get away without a conditioner, but it feels like it's got a coating on it. And so to me then, putting conditioner on, it doesn't do its full job. It isn't going to sink in as deeply. I hope that makes sense. Now, feel free to tell me I'm completely wrong if you are a hairdresser. I'm happy for you to do so, because this doesn't come from a place of knowledge. When I'm talking about skincare, you know, I know a bit of the science behind it. We didn't have studies on hair care in the hospital. It's not something that I have studied. I've only done what works for me, and this is what works for me and has done over the years. So this is the one that I am currently using and that I recommend. It's the Herbal Essences. This is golden raspberry and mint, but they have got quite a few different scents in this daily detox clean range. But what I would say is look for a clear conditioner, a clear shampoo. So one that is completely translucent like this, and that should be enough to be I think when they put moisturiser on it, it tends to be more of that kind of milky coloured shampoo. So a nice clear shampoo, that to me gives a good foundation for then adding in other products. The next thing I do is I always towel dry my hair before putting conditioner in. I never put conditioner on completely soaking wet hair, or even, you know, wrung out with my hands. Now, you might think that's difficult if you are in the bath or shower, but I did a quick 2-minute video a couple of years ago on how to get around that. Keep a face cloth in the shower or bath that you use for that, obviously a dry face cloth, and that's what I do. I just then run the face cloth over, and I'll sort of wrap it around my hair and wring it, so that my hair is towel dried before I put conditioner on. Often I'm lucky because I work from home now. I'm here often enough that I can put a towel around my hair, walk around the house, then put conditioner on, then leave it, etc, etc. But if you're just doing it all in a wanna, at least get most of the moisture out with a towel, and then again, it's not being diluted by the water, and you're going to get as much of that conditioner into your hair as possible. You might not agree with some of my tips, and number 3 is a good example of that. I've said use loads of conditioner, but I know when I've done empties before and said, oh, that, you know, I've used this conditioner up already, or this only lasts me 3 times, people have said, oh, you're using way too much. I know that I use too much conditioner, but it has only served me well using loads of conditioner and loading my hair with conditioner. The only time it doesn't work is if the conditioner isn't the right conditioner. There's sometimes I've done that and I can't dry my hair because it's so greasy. But I would say that, you know, using a tiny little bit in your palm, you're not going to get all of your hair, especially if you've got thick hair. I mean, if you've got fine hair or very short hair, obviously you don't need to do that quite as much. But for hair sort of my length or longer, you really need to coat it. I feel like you need to coat every strand. And the way to do that without weighing your hair down is to find a really runny conditioner if you can. The ones I've used have been the Tresemme Moisture Rich conditioner, the Boots Sunswim and Gym conditioner, and more recently the Soap and Glory, not the one conditioner, that's a mask, that's completely opposite, but I think it's called Get a Smooth On conditioner. I'll make sure I link it for you in the description. And they're really thin, runny conditioners that just sink into your hair, and you can use loads and it doesn't take away from having volume, it doesn't weigh your hair down, it doesn't delay the blow dry, it works perfectly. So I would say use a lot of conditioner. Number 4 is comb the conditioner through. So you've put your conditioner on, comb through your hair, which again goes against what some people tell you, don't brush wet hair, etc. But I would use something like this, like a Tangle teaser, or a comb like this, or even a wide tooth comb I've got just in the shower. And the reason I want to do that is, number 1, to distribute the conditioner, to make sure that it is through all of my hair. And number 2 is, I find it better to comb through when it's got conditioner in it. You're not going to be snagging on anything, and then you don't need to comb it afterwards before blow drying. That's what I've found anyway. Number 5 is leave the conditioner on as long as possible. There's lots of other things you can do. You can put a towel in the tumble dryer, warm it up and wrap it round, and that will, the heat will help the conditioner. But I try to leave the conditioner on for as long as I can manage. Now that I'm not working in an office, that's much easier to do, but it's not quite as easy, I know, if you're working like Monday to Friday 9 to 5, but maybe try and do it at the weekend, or maybe on a Friday when you finish work, wash your hair, put some conditioner on it and just leave it in. I've even been known to leave it overnight, and although your hair goes all crispy if you do that, but it does still work really well. Number 6 is to use an overnight oil mask. I only do this maybe once every couple of months, because it's something that I do if I really think, my hair just really needs a super boost. And I would use this. This is the Nascent's Almond Sweet Oil. Why is it not called Sweet Almond Oil? I don't know. Anyway, it's almond oil, and I've got such a big bottle because I do use a lot. I also use this if I go swimming, but that's another story. But I would just literally load my hair up from, not right from the root, but maybe from about a third of the way down to the ends, so that it looks like I've got wet hair. I load it with oil, then I put a towel over my pillow and I just sleep with the oil in my hair. The following day, you would need to make sure that you use a deep cleansing shampoo and wash your hair a couple of times. But you can then probably skip conditioner. Even I can skip it with having, thick tangly hair, because it really has just restored your hair. It's wonderful. So if you've got really damaged hair, it's a lovely thing you can do for your hair. I think that's better than any masks that I've ever tried. And I'm saying almond oil, I actually used to use olive oil, because I just used whatever cooking oil I had in the cupboard. So I haven't always used almond oil. Number 7, oil in chlorine. Oh, I just mentioned that. If you are somebody that goes swimming a lot, and gets chlorine in your hair, that is of course going to damage it. Now you can buy a pre-swimming mask that will protect your hair, but I have always used oil. Whenever we have gone away to spas, Kev and I, before we got Watson, used to go away a lot to spas, and I would always load my hair with oil before I went down to the spa. And it's great because then you can sit in the steam room, you can sit in the sauna, and that is sort of helping the oil penetrate, by heating it up. And I would wash my hair afterwards and it would just feel amazing. So it's protecting it from the chlorine getting in, but it's also giving you a nice treatment. Number 8 is a microfiber towel. Now, I've bought inexpensive microfiber towels, and they're not very nice, to be honest with you. There's a lot of things I will tell you don't need to spend a lot of money, buy the cheaper version. But this one, I've tried all sorts of different microfiber towels, and the one that works the best for me is this Aquis towel. I think that's how you say it, Aquis. This is actually a body towel, because the Aquis hair towel, when I had longer hair, when it was down to my boobs, was too small. It didn't work for me at all. Whereas with this one, I wrap my hair up in it, and then after a little while I take it out and I sort of flip it over and wrap it up again, because I like to use this for as long as possible to get as much water out as possible, so that there's less blow drying time. And compared to a normal towel, this just feels like It's much gentler on the hair, but it does get much more moisture out. So I will link this one for you if you're interested. But this, like I said, is the body towel that I bought, the extra large body towel. And I take this on holiday with me, etc. so that I don't have to use their huge towels. It's actually more comfortable on your head as well. Number 9, is it number 9? Number 9 is regular haircuts, which I think some people might watch and go, oh, well, that's easy for you to say, it costs a lot of money. I totally understand. You know, when Kev and I both got made redundant and money was tight, I still wanted to be able to get my hair cut at least every 12 weeks. I try to get it cut every 8 weeks, but sometimes it stretches to 12 weeks. And so when money's tight, it stretches to 12 weeks. But getting it regularly cut, you're getting the tiny little split ends, which I used to sit when I was waiting for, say if Kev went in to look at a golf shop or something, I'd sit in the car and look at my split ends like this, and I had a pair of scissors in my bag and I'd sit cutting off my split ends. I know, I told you I was obsessed with my hair, but they start at the very, very bottom, and if you have regular haircuts, then it's going to cut it and you'll have beautifully healthy hair. If you don't have regular haircuts, that's going to quickly travel. You know, the more heat you put on, the more brushing you do, etc., that's going to travel up your hair and get to a point where it can't be cut out and your hair just looks damaged, or it could only be cut out if you had it cut really short. And so I've all my life I've had regular haircuts. But if you are struggling with it, money-wise, what I did when we were struggling for money is I only went for Groupon haircuts. There's always a haircut on Groupon, always. It doesn't mean it will be the most amazing cut, but if you're just going to get ½ an inch cut off the bottom, not too much should go wrong with it. You know, if you're not going for a drastic colour or change of style, then it shouldn't do anything, you know, even if it's not a hairdresser that you're used to, because that was my concern, because I'm very, very fussy with hairdressers and people that are touching my hair. But like I said, when we were struggling financially, I made sure that I still had a haircut every 12 weeks, and I would just look up Groupon and what's the other one? There's something deal. It is on. There's another one called this. You know, I just looked up all of the deals and would buy deals. So it would cost me like £12 for a haircut versus now it costs me £50. Number 10 is to wash your hair as little as often and leave it to dry naturally as often as you can. So I know that they are easier said than done. And I was thinking when I was in the hospital and, you know, working every day, I certainly couldn't wash my hair in the morning. I got up early enough as it was. I was getting up at 5:30. I wasn't going to get up earlier to wash my hair, so it was in the evening. And I washed my hair every other day. But if I was ever too tired in the evening, or we had something on or whatever, and I missed that second night washing it, on day 3 at work, I just couldn't wait for the day to be over. All day long, my hair would bother me, and I'd think, oh, it feels dirty, it feels greasy, I need to get home and wash it. I hated it. So when I left work and was at home here, I thought, let me give it a go again, because I knew that it was healthier for my hair, and also it'll cost less because, like I said, I use a lot of shampoo, I use a lot of conditioner. I wouldn't have to blow dry it as often, because that is, for me, is time consuming and not something I enjoy. So I tried again leaving it till day 3. And I would say it only took probably 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks before that feeling was gone of that day 3 hair. So I don't know whether that was just psychological and it wasn't ever that bad, or whether my hair just got used to going that amount of time without being washed. So I think it's worth it if you can do that. I have found my hair has got a lot less split ends because I'm not using heat on it as much. And then the drying naturally, again, that was something I really struggled with, and something I couldn't really do when I was working, because if I left it to dry naturally at night, well, for a start, it wouldn't be dry when I'd go to bed with wet hair. Then in the morning, I would need to do a lot of styling to get it to look decent. So I couldn't do that very often, but I would try and do it at weekends. And the way I got it to still have some volume would be put on a high ponytail, like as high as you can get it on your head when you've got wet hair, and leave it like that for as long as possible. And then, you know, at the last minute, take it out. And yeah, I just think doing that occasionally really helps, not using any heat on it at all. And particularly if you're going to curl your hair, I don't think you need to blow dry your hair first. If you've got enough time to let it dry naturally, you're then going to use heat on it anyway to curl it, and you're going to style it that way. So I don't think you need to blow dry it first. I actually saw a video, a YouTuber showing how she curled her hair. She washed her hair, blow dried it, then straightened it, and then curled it. And I was like, I just don't understand the process, you know, that's too much to me on your hair, way too much. Number 11 is gentle brushing. So I use this most of the time on my hair, although I think the idea of this is it for wet hair? It's the Tangle teaser. I'll link this one for you because I think they're much easier to use with a handle. But I use this to detangle my hair. And the trick is, if you've got really tangly hair, is just to start from the bottom. This is probably, most people know this, I'm sure, but just in case you don't, start from the bottom and then just slowly work your way up. You know, don't be tempted to start at the top and just pull past all the tangles. So I think just being really gentle with your hair. So just one more, number 12, although there is something I want to tell you about the Dyson hairdryer. But number 12 is to take your omegas and drink a lot of water. I can't say that I manage to drink as much water as I should, but I do try. And I feel like the fact that I've taken a lot of omegas over the years, I feel like that has helped with my hair, because even when my skin's been really dry, I've never felt like my hair has been really badly damaged or anything like that, other than when I used that that hair colour remover. And I've always eaten oily fish. If I've not been eating oily fish, I've been taking omegas, and I've done that for, you know, 20 plus years, and that is something they recommend to help not just with your hair, but with your skin as well. So that's something I would recommend. That's everything on my list that I do. But I did just want to mention about the Dyson hairdryer. I can't remember if I came back to tell you guys that I did use it with my round brushes, and I found it too difficult just because of my joints, and I just found it too fiddly to try and get your brush into your hair and then hold the hairdryer, whereas my Fabulous Big Hair does that on its own. You know, I don't need two hands, I can just do it in a wanna. But I did say that I was going to try it that way so that I could tell you whether my hair was smoother or not, because my hair does go quite frizzy. Even now there's a few bits sticking up. I've had to use quite a bit of like cream on it to try and sort of smooth it down. But when I used the Dyson hairdryer with the round brushes, I didn't put any product in my hair after it, because it actually felt very soft and kind of a little bit fly away, and I wasn't going anywhere, and I thought, you know, I was just going to sleep on it that night. I thought, I'm just not going to put any product on it, and it didn't look that frizzy. But I got a neck cushion recommended by my physio, and I put a picture on Instagram. I'll put the picture in for you of me with this neck cushion. I was saying, oh, I've got this neck cushion, it's not very attractive though, is it? But actually I got a lot of comments on my hair and saying how nice my hair looked, and that was just after drying my hair with the Dyson hairdryer and the round brushes. So I wanted to let you know that, because it definitely made a difference. Even I could see from the picture when I posted it, I thought, oh, my hair looks nice and smooth in this. So it's a shame I can't work it out with the round brush and the Dyson, because with the Fabulous Big Hair, I prefer how easy it is, and I prefer the style that I get from it actually. But my hair definitely did look smoother when using the Dyson all the way through and using a round brush at the end. And I used a different one on both sides, so it wasn't the brush, it was definitely the hairdryer. That's everything. So I hope that you maybe picked up a tip or two there, or it made you just rethink about how you do your hair. Something I didn't mention actually was putting your hairdryer on a lower heat. That's something I only did a couple of years ago. I moved down from using the hottest to the medium one, and was surprised how little effect it had on the time that it took to dry my hair. So yeah, definitely that's it. I will list all of my makeup etc. in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.